This is Anita Luna Yoga, here to give you a short but sweet Yin Yoga practice. Yin Yoga is excellent for stress relief, relaxation, loosening tight muscles, and getting deep into letting go. The three principles of Yin Yoga are playing with your edge, never pushing past your edge, but coming right to it, and then releasing. And then we're going to hold all of our poses for 3 to 5 minutes. As this is an intro to Yin Yoga, it's good for anyone of any condition, as long as you stay within your comfortable, safe range of motion, okay? And number 2, the principles of Yin Yoga is to be still. So once you find that place at your edge, you're going to just be still and allow the process of releasing to happen. And the third principle is to allow the time to pass. Just to be present in the moment as time passes. You can use props. You do not need yoga props. You can do this whole thing, just you and the ground. You don't necessarily need a mat, but I will show you how to use props. So you'll see both without props and with props. The props you might use, one is a bolster here. If you do not have a bolster, you can use a firm sofa cushion, like the kind you put behind your back. Or the other props we're going to try using, again, if you don't have them, no worries, is 2 blocks. And the third is a folded blanket. Okay, so we're just going to begin. And we're going to begin in Shavasana, because the idea is letting go. And what's better for letting go than lying on the ground, connecting with the ground, breathing naturally, and allowing yourself to let go. There's so much stress out there. So what I'd like you to do is lie down. I will demonstrate briefly, and then I'm going to talk. Through this whole practice, I recommend that you close your eyes, and if possible, breathe slowly, deeply, and low in the belly. So nice, long, slow, deep belly breaths will help the process of releasing tension. Okay, so I will lie down and demonstrate, and then with your eyes closed, just listen to my voice. I'm going to not necessarily be in the pose the entire time, but I would like you to remain in the pose the entire time. And I will, I'm actually going to go get this really quick. I'm going to ring a singing bowl here when it's time to change positions, okay? You'll know when it's time. All right, so lying down. Ideally, you'll want something under the lower thighs to support you. This will allow your lower back to relax into the ground. It doesn't need to be this high. It could be just a bed pillow or whatever you have handy. Okay, and then you're just gonna lie back. Hopefully you can see me, and your arms will be out. If possible, palms facing up, arms out a little from the body. If you're coming from stress that is very recent, maybe you just came out of a Zoom meeting that was stressful, or dealing with kids or parents or any of the COVID related stress, you can just place your hands on your lower ribs and feel yourself breathing down into your rib cage. So no effort. We do no effort in Yin Yoga. All we do is allow what is to be and let go. So this is all you need. Please close your eyes. If possible, you're in a dimly lit room, away from distractions, If not, just allow those distractions to happen, and just let them be, and return your attention to yourself and to your process of letting go. So with your eyes closed, again, I'm just going to talk a little bit and help you find what you need in Shavasana. So ideally, you're allowing yourself to feel your connection to the ground beneath you, focusing on your exhale, lengthening your exhale, and allowing yourself to completely release with every out breath. Your in breath is receiving nourishment and nurturing from the ground, from all around you. Allow it to sink in, absorb the nurturing from your own self-care. As you breathe in and as you breathe out, you're releasing tension. So the only thing that's moving, once you get comfortable, allow for stillness. And the only thing that's moving is your breath moving through you. You do not need to control your breath, but you may want to visualize the breath moving in that manner of slow, low, and deep. You may want to place hands on your belly if you haven't tried that, and see how that feels. You'll feel your belly and lower ribs rise up from the ground as you breathe in, and then gradually sink back down to the ground as you breathe out. And again, your connection to the ground. Feel all the places where your body connects to the ground beneath you, and really allow yourself to melt into the ground. Just some places we hold tension, give them a little extra focus here. Again, no pushing, no straining ever in Yin Yoga. So maybe finding that space between your eyebrows and allowing that space to open and soften, forehead softening. Allow there to be a little space between your back teeth so that your lower jaw is relaxing. Maybe your mouth is open slightly. Allow your tongue to relax on the bottom of your mouth. Shoulders and upper back and neck, big places where we hold tension. So just sinking the neck, shoulders, and upper back down into the ground with your exhale, allowing them to soften, and not trying to make them soften, just letting them soften. And your back, again, connected to the ground and softening into it. Same with your hips, legs, arms, hands, and feet. So as I give you a minute of silence, I want you to remain focused on your own self-care. You're letting go of everything else, anything you don't need. Just imagine those thoughts drifting by and not holding on to them, not focusing on them, continuing to focus on your breath, your body, grounding, and letting go. Again, a moment of silence for you. I ring the singing bowl, you're very, very slowly, gently, and carefully transitioning to the next pose. So you can remove whatever you've placed under your thighs, under your knees, and then you're just very slowly going to press your hands as you roll over to your side, press your hands down and come up to sitting. Okay, so here I am sitting with you. We're going to take our next Yin Yoga pose, butterfly, sometimes called diamond. And you may want to sit on a folded blanket or a cushion or a pillow, something to help raise your hips. If you raise your hips up, I'm sitting on a folded blanket now, your legs will release downward, bringing circulation to your legs, and your spine will be tall and lengthened as you ease into the Yin Yoga pose. So Yin Yoga has a very loose butterfly. Hatha yoga, other forms of yoga, your heels are close to your hips. You definitely want to have space between your feet and your hips, and your legs are just naturally going to fall open. You're not going to have any effort to stretch here. You're just going to let the legs open. Gravity will give you all the stretch you need. If you have blocks and if you want your legs to be supported, if you have knee issues or just want to feel more supported, place your blocks under your knees. Okay? You can again also use pillows or whatever you have handy. I have a whole video called How to Make Yoga Props at Home that you can watch if you like. So from here, I'll just do this unsupported for now with no props in case you don't have any. So you're just going to, I'm going to turn sideways now. You've seen me from the front. So here's the side view. Get the bolster out of the way. So here, my legs are open but relaxed, soft. You want to dangle, you want to drape. You always hinge forward from the top of the thigh. That's your hip joint. Never ever lean forward from your waist. Most of us lean forward from the waist. This is very harsh on your neck, back, and shoulders. So we always hinge from the top of the hip, and you're gonna pause anywhere where your edge is, the edge of your comfort zone. I may be hinging and coming down lower. You're going to stop wherever you need to and not try to match what I'm doing. You're gonna tune into your own body. I will demonstrate, and then I would like you to close your eyes once you're there. So hinging forward, lengthening from the base of the spine through the middle back. And once you've gotten to the edge of your comfort zone here, not too much stretch on the inner thighs, okay? So again, you might want support under your knees so your thighs don't stretch too deeply. But once you're there, you're just going to release. So first the head releases down, and the neck. Your arms are wherever they're comfortable. I like to place them on the ground. You can place them on your legs. And just maybe help you from not going too deep, having your hands to support you so that you are not overstretching or striving or straining in any way. So just pausing there. Your back can round. And you're just going to stop there. I will show from the front, and then I'd like you to close your eyes if you haven't already. Here's the front. You may be able to get your lower arms on the ground. Again, it's not a contest. It's not a show. It's just what feels good for your body. Playing with the edge of your comfort zone. So if you've come too far into it and it's too much, just back off. Come up a little bit. If you've got where you feel like you need more intensity of, I lost my words, but you need more intensity here, you can go deeper. And then again, pausing. So your edge may change as you stay in this pose longer. So again, I'm closing your eyes now. I'm just gonna talk. You don't need to see me now. So as you're in butterfly, going to feel the opening of the hips and be aware of that without creating any effort to open them more or go deeper. You're just going to let them be. Same thing with your back, neck, and shoulders. Going to allow the opening of the back, creating space between the vertebrae. Just gravity is helping you here. You're releasing completely into gravity. Head, neck, shoulders, back. If that is not for you, let's say you have neck issues. I've had whiplash 3 times. I find that uncomfortable after a few minutes, and we will stay here for a few minutes. If you want to take a look at this, you can if you need props. Only if you need props. Only if you need support for your head and neck. Otherwise, just stay where you are and be there and allow time to pass, focusing on your breath, your body, and allowing the time to pass in stillness. If you need a prop, I'm going to turn sideways one more time just to show you. So if you have a bolster, it's great because you can place it any which way. I prefer to have the bolster like this so that the narrow part is facing me, the short and narrow part, and then just wrapping your arms around loosely and either resting your chin, your cheek, or your forehead, whatever's comfortable. Just really just draping here. You can also bring it closer or turn it sideways. Again, having some support may help you release deeper. You can also lean over the seat of a chair if you do not have this prop handy and you want to use it. So for everyone in this pose, as time passes, you may feel these sensations getting more intense unless you feel a sharpness or a sudden pain or a sudden too intense sensation. I'd like you to allow for the intensity, allow for any and all sensations. Again, pain, we don't do pain in yoga. This is for you to feel good. And ideally after class and the next day, you will feel better than you did before. So forget no pain, no gain. That's not yoga, that's exercise. So just allowing your body to be where it's at. Again, playing with the edge if you feel like you've gone too deep and you're very uncomfortable and you cannot relax when you're uncomfortable, right? So allowing yourself to find that place where you can be comfortable, where you can be effortless, and then just being there. I'm going to give you a minute of silence to explore your inner experience. All right. So as the singing bowl rings, you are going to very slowly and gently, because these deep stretches can go very deep, and coming up and out too quickly can cause injury. So slowly walking your hands back, slowly bringing your legs up. And we're going to do something that we often do lying down in yoga. We're gonna hug our knees. Again, if this is not comfortable, hug behind the knees, or just use one hand on each knee and just feel a little bit of tallness in your spine, some openness in your shoulders. I'll turn sideways so you can see what I'm doing. A little bit of a lift here with the shoulders down and away from your neck. Your neck is long, your chin and jaw are level, parallel to the floor. Your ears are over your shoulders, and maybe just take a little head tilt back and forth. Maybe just take your shoulders up a bit and take a big sigh. We're just doing some transition work. So that forward bend's pretty deep. And now we're just balancing out by lifting and lengthening the spine up and back. Take a few more breaths there, just feeling how good that feels. Finding that place where it feels good and staying there for just a little bit longer. Good. And then, ideally you're still sitting on a folded blanket or a cushion. You're going to take the legs wide. So not so wide that you are uncomfortable. Not so wide that you can't be here for 5 minutes. You want to find just the amount of opening where you're feeling mild stretch through the inner thighs, groins. And you do not need to flex your feet in Yin Yoga. Just let your feet hang. Your knees can roll in or out, wherever they want to be. If your legs are uncomfortable here, this is too deep of a hamstring stretch or a calf stretch. You can take your blocks or pillows or whatever you have handy and place them under your knees. Okay, so that will allow your legs to relax without overdoing the stretch. So with or without props is fine. And so from here, we're going to do the same thing. Hinge at the top of the thighs and very slowly paying full attention to what's happening in your body. You're going to lean forward. So again, drapey legs. Once you get to your maximum stretch, you may be up here. Do not push past where your limits are. If your limit is here, be here. It's not about, wow, look what I did. It's about, this feels good. Okay, so leaning forward, using your hands to make sure you don't stretch too deeply, finding a place at the edge of your comfort zone where you can be here for a while. And then once you find that place, you might be more forward than that. So let's say you're here. Okay, so you can rest your upper arms if you're deeper. So you're lengthening the back just like we did in butterfly. And this is dragonfly, by the way, the name of the pose. And then you're just gonna round, let the head go, let the neck go. I'm gonna do this from the side in case you wanna see that. Let your head and neck go. And I will show you this with a bolster. I'll show you this with a bolster as well. If you're in the pose and you love it, just the way it is without props, you don't need to watch this part. Close your eyes, breathe, and be. Okay? But if you need more support here, you can turn the bolster like this, bring it towards you, and drape. You can rest your arms, you can rest your head. Maybe you need another pillow on top to get here. You can also turn it diagonally. Hug here. I've got an earpiece, so I don't know how that sounds when I do that. New earpiece. Trying to improve quality of these videos for you. Okay, so here you can rest on one cheek. So there's many ways. You find what's comfortable for you. Maybe you want to go down here, turn the bolster like this, and rest your arms. So you can play around. Again, play around, explore. Once you find a comfortable position where you're feeling a maximum feeling of ease. That's the only maximum we're going for here, is maximum ease. So once you're there, just letting yourself be there. And as the body becomes still and remains still, the mind may also become still. And as the mind becomes still all of the tension begins to wash away, like imagining a light spring rain on a sunny day, and all your cares are washing away, and you are here now in this moment, caring for yourself, letting go, and being still. And another minute of silence now. Just a little tip, if you feel your mind wandering away as you are still and there's silence, just gently guide your mind back to focusing on the here and now. Really feeling and being aware of any and all sensations, being in your body, not up in your head, right? Come back to your body. And our minds all wander, so just guiding your mind back with the nurturing, caring for yourself without judging yourself in any way. All right, again, very slowly. You're going to first just bend your knees a little bit so they're looser. Bring the knees in a little bit. Slowly walk the hands up. You can still lean on your hands if you like, or place your hands. I'm going to show you the hands, just placing your hands next to you. And we're going to do windshield wipers. So windshield wipers usually go like this, but I like them knees in, knees out. Your legs are loose. Your knees are bent to the level that you want them to be bent. You can rest on your arms, or you can just maybe just kind of rock and roll the rest of your body. Windshield wipers for your whole body, just to loosen up, okay? And then once you feel relaxed here, you can circle your ankles even. We're going to turn sideways on our mats, you and me. So from here, we're going to start off in cat or table. And just do some cat-cow. So as you're inhaling, belly and chest come down, shoulders back, tailbone up, lengthen. As you exhale, belly and chest move up, back stretches, tailbone down, head down. We'll do a few of those. And just feeling some transitional stretch for your whole back of your body. And you may want to focus on, this is the cow in cat-cow, so you may want to focus on the cow and just really stretching into it to counteract those deep forward bends that we've just done. Or if your back is sore, you may want to round into cat and lean back as you exhale. And again, you can play around. You can shift side to side, do more organic movement. We're just transitioning here. So you want to maintain that lubrication of your joints so that as we go deeper into the stretches, your joints are loose, lubricated, and able to release. So from here, we're going to come down onto our upper arms, palms down, and we're going to slide the legs back. So you are see if you can see me. So you are, I'm gonna push the blanket out of the way. And I'm gonna move this just for here out of the picture so you can see what I'm doing. Your important part is ideally your shoulders are just above your elbows. If this is too much of a back bend, you can take your arms forward more. We'll come back so you can see more. The upper body is more important, so you may not see my feet, but so the legs are loose. You can let the legs fall to the side. If you need support for your legs, do whatever you need to do. Ideally, your hips are relaxing downward. You might want your feet a little bit apart, your knees a little bit apart, so that your hips can really relax down. Again, you can be anywhere from low, if that's too much for you, to go higher. And here's the continuum. Walking your elbows back, pausing anywhere along this continuum that becomes the edge of your comfort zone. The full pose has your elbows underneath your shoulders and the chest lifts and the shoulders move back and down. If you're having any achiness here in your lower back, you do want to make just a little effort to press your hips toward the ground. That will help elongate your lower spine and let your back stay healthy as we do this pose. But this is a little back bend. So this is a little counteracting for the deep forward bends we did in butterfly and in dragonfly. This pose is called Sphinx. You can imagine why. So you want to keep your head neutral. Once you're here, I want you to take your head to neutral. You can either look forward or close your eyes. Again, finding a place right at your edge and staying there. So I don't want you looking at me here. So I'm going to get out of the pose. And there's nothing for you to see up here. You're focusing on how this feels for you. The feeling of opening through the chest really helps to counteract the slouching we've been doing through this virus, where we're on the couch, maybe looking down at your phone, looking down at your keyboard, or just the stress we accumulate, those of you working at home and parenting, or having stressful jobs, essential worker jobs. You know, we all accumulate a lot of tension in the upper body. So here we're really allowing the shoulders to melt downward, allowing our lower arms to support our weight, and you never want to strain your neck. So if you're in a lower position with the elbows forward of your shoulders, more forward than your shoulders, you want to be looking down, keeping your neck in line with the rest of your spine. So if you're lower even than that, you really want to be looking all the way down. If you're in a medium position, your elbows are coming toward the space right under your shoulders, but not quite there yet. You can look across the room a little bit, but still downward. And if you're in the full position, the elbows all the way back under your shoulders and your chest fully lifted, shoulders back, you can really lengthen your neck here and be looking across the room. Ideally bringing the ears back over the shoulders, chin level. So the only effort here really is finding a comfortable position that allows your upper body to open and relax. And once you're there, you do not need to do anything else. Find your Sphinx, not my Sphinx, but the one that works for you, and then just be there. Again, breath, body, observing sensations, and always guiding your mind back to stillness and peace. And I'll give you a minute of silence here. So from here, you can stay in Sphinx. You do not need to move. If you want a deeper back bend and more intense sensation, you're going to come into what we call seal pose in Yin Yoga. So I will show you with and without the bolster. So we're all in Sphinx, right? You might just gently turn your head just so you can see me. And you're just gonna walk your hands forward. I'm just gonna show you my upper body. You're not gonna be able to see my feet here. My feet are not doing anything. My legs are still loose and relaxed on the ground. So you're going to walk your hands forward, and while you're doing that, you're pressing down a little bit into your hands, not much effort, and just feeling a lengthening as well as a lift to your spine. Shoulders are still back and down. Again, you can press your pubic bone, your hips down toward the mat to just support your lower back, or if your back is fine, just let your hips relax here. So here we are finding a way to feel effortless in a pose that makes us want to do effort. So here you're going to want to push or press, and the idea is to find a way to find ease in a position, maybe a position in your life where you're feeling like you need to push or strive or do. We all have stress in our lives, and the idea is to allow the stress to be, and to learn through Yin Yoga how to be within a swarm of stress around you and to stay calm and still. So here we have this maybe even a pressure to work harder, and the ideal is to not do that and to allow the stress without becoming the stress. I will also show you this with a bolster. This is easier to not effort. You're just going to place your bolster across your mat just like that. And if you're already in seal pose, so let's say you're here. Move this so you can see my arms. So you're here, and you're like, this is too much effort for me, right? So you're just going to take your bolster, maybe come up on your knees, press your hands and elbows down, place this bolster across right where your chest will be, just under your chest, okay? And then this becomes a really relaxing, supported back bend. And legs are relaxed. Hips can relax here because of the support. Your back should be fine. That's Willow, my cat. And she likes to photobomb all my yoga videos. So from here, you can close your eyes. You do not need to look at me. I'm going to sit and talk just for a little bit and then let you have silence and go inward, okay? So from here, finding a way to relax. If at any time, the idea of stillness that's the ideal. If you need to readjust at any point, let's say you were comfortable a minute ago, 2 minutes ago, and then you find yourself becoming uncomfortable. So then it's how to listen to your body and what it's telling you. And there's so much learning when you do that. Cat is scratching, just ignore that. So as you are in the pose for a period of time, there is an absolutely okay. Go ahead and do what you need to do as far as making adjustments so that you can again be still and find ease. So we're going to be here a minute longer, and I'll be quiet and allow you to allow ease. singing bowl is rung. And the way that we're going to transition now is first to come up high enough to remove the bolster if you're using it. I'm again going to come back a little bit so you can't see my feet, but you can see my arms. So let's say I'm here. And then you're going to bring your arms back into Sphinx. Press down. Lift your upper body. And then I'm going to move my legs forward. Knees are wide. Feet can be together or apart, whatever's comfortable. I will show you this again without props. And if you find yourself comfortable without props, just be there. And then I will show you with props so everyone can find a way to do this. So without props, you're just going to sit back on your feet on your heels and allow your hips to sink. And then you're going to lengthen from the top of the thighs, just like we did in butterfly. Walking the hands forward until you find your edge. And then sinking into it. So your lower arms are on the ground, your palms are facing down. Ideally, you'll press your forehead to the ground and allow yourself to sink all the way into gravity. Your belly is free for low, slow, deep belly breathing. You can also feel the back of your body rising up and gently falling toward the ground as you inhale and then exhale. So now I'll show you with props. If you're perfectly comfortable in cat, in that position, just close your eyes and stay focused inward, and then I'll show props. So let's say you want to be higher up. You can't quite get your head to the ground here. You can use your bolster, bring it between your knees, and then elongate onto the bolster. This might feel good. You'll turn your cheek one way, then rest your head. Your arms will be on the ground, and this might feel more comfortable for you. If your knees are not happy here, two ways to do that. You can sit on one or two of these blocks. Place that between your feet, sit on it, and then you might need to be up a little higher using your bolster like I showed you, or placing this block on the ground so that it's directly under your forehead. So being up higher with your hips will help reduce strain on your knees. So lengthening here, block under forehead. If you find any of these positions comfortable so that you can be at ease, just be there. You don't have to try all of these. Just find the one that suits you. If you're still uncomfortable, feet, knees, any part of your body is not happy here with the lower part of your body, one more way to do this is have your feet apart, not like butterfly, and just sink into it. You can also use a bolster here. Okay, now I'm going to show you these from the front as well. So child's pose from the front, sitting on your heels, knees are very wide. And then lengthen, 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 slide into the ground, rest your head. And easy does it, sinking into the ground, no effort. With a block, looks like this. And the other block here. Slowly working your way, adjusting your block so it's just under your forehead so your head can rest and you can still breathe. Last one. Legs are open, so more open than butterfly. You can support your knees with blocks like I showed you before. And then you're going to not come forward so much. You're just going to let your back round, your head soften, your neck soften, your shoulders soften, your arms are wherever you're dangling, draping, and releasing. Okay. You can also use your bolster. Again, just stop wherever you need to. You don't need to try every single modification. If you're in child's pose already, then just be present and relax. So again, just allowing your chest to lean on the bolster, your arms to drape over it or onto your legs. rest your head. Okay, so that's a full array of ways to do child's pose. And ideally, you've been here for a little while already, and you're feeling yourself sinking into gravity. If your bottom is up in the air a little bit, it's perfectly fine. Just still imagining that your spine is like a necklace of beads, but on a wire, okay? So those beads are your vertebrae. And so you want to imagine that there's space between the beads, so that the beads are spreading apart on that wire, so you can actually see that wire between the beads. So that's your spine between your vertebrae. You want to feel stretch and opening through the back of your body. And again, ideally you're breathing, inhaling into belly and back of your body, letting those open up and expand, breathing in. And as you're exhaling, softening and releasing all the stale air. And I'm going to be quiet for a minute and allow you to be still and allow ease. If your head is turned one way on one cheek, please gently lengthen the neck, rotate the head, and rest on the other cheek now. So gently, slowly transitioning from child's pose, whatever position you're in, removing the props, pressing your hands gently down to come up into cat. We're going to transition back into cat. You're going to keep your knees a little wider than neutral. Normally you'd have your knees directly under your hips. I'd like your knees a little wider than that. Spread your fingers out so you're not putting too much weight on your wrists. Okay, you want to really press into the entire hand and let your weight relax here. We're going to take some hip circles. So as you're inhaling, you're going to go around to one side and forward, and as you're exhaling, around to one side and back. And I will show you this from the front. I think it's a little easier to see what I'm doing. So again, the knees are a little wide, and Willow is stealing the show. Okay, so inhaling around and forward, exhaling around and back. You can do big circles, you can do small circles. You can find places that are tight and kind of rock into them. Again, I'll show you from the side. So you really want to, and you might want to do figure eights. You might want to just rock. The idea is, again, lubricating the joints, releasing tension. Sometimes when we're still for a long period of time, you may notice this when you're sitting at your desk or on the couch or wherever you are. When you sit for a long period of time, the muscles, the joints stiffen up, especially as we get older. So just loosening up here. All right, we're gonna do one more pose on both sides, and then we're gonna come back into Shavasana. Our last pose is going to be lying on our back with the knees bent. We're gonna come into supine twist. If you know a different version of supine twist that you like better, please do that. I want you to feel really good. Do what you're comfortable with. I'm gonna demonstrate one version of supine twist, and you can do that too if you prefer. So your arms are out to the sides. You're on your back, your knees are bent, your neck is neutral, and you're just going to press down into your feet and bring your hips to the right edge of your mat. Okay, and then as you do that, you're going to want to rotate the hips toward the left. Just let them land wherever they are. Doesn't need to look like this. You can have your feet and knees stacked. Want your arms to be comfortable, your shoulders on the ground. If both shoulders are not on the ground, you can place a folded blanket or a folded towel, under the shoulder that's up high. If you need support for your legs, you can place a pillow or folded blanket between your knees or under your knees or both. So take a little time to find a comfortable position here and then allow yourself to be still once you're there. You may want to rotate your head away from your knees. That will give some stretch on your neck. That should feel good. Okay, so while your knees are to the left, your head may be rotated a bit to the right. And while you're here, hopefully you're comfortable now. So your legs are supported. Take the time again to grab your props, whatever you need, and to make sure that you're not holding any part of your body up away from the ground, that everything is sinking either to the support of the props or to the support of the ground. So close your eyes, and I'll just give you a little guidance of things that might help you feel like you can go deeper into the pose. So now you're on the ground. You've done some good, gentle work on helping your body relax, helping your mind be calm. And now it's time, as we ease toward our final relaxation, to reward yourself with an absolute, complete lack of effort. Just being still. This twist just helps wring out the wet towel a little bit. Lateral, spiraling, stretch for your spine. Should feel great on your lower back. And if it's too much, back off, add more cushions, readjust your legs. But if you're fine being still, just allow yourself to be here. Use your breath as a guide. Every exhale, releasing just a little more naturally, without trying to, just letting it happen. And I'll be quiet for a minute and allow you to relax. The cat is attacking me. Okay. All right. So easy does it. Again, rearrange your props, bring them with you. We're going to do the other side. So bringing your knees back to center and shifting your hips back to the center of your mat. You might want to take a few breaths here. Release your lower back downwards. If you did any efforting at all, relax your jaw, your forehead, your shoulders, and your hips. A couple more breaths, just centering, and then we're going to rotate the other way. So you don't need to switch sides, I'm just showing you how to do this. So now you're going to shift your hips by pressing down into your feet over to the right edge of the mat. your arms are out on the ground or on props, blankets, whatever you need, okay? And then once your hips are shifted to the right and your upper body's comfortable, you're gonna rotate your legs. No, we did this side. Anyway, whichever side you didn't do, you're gonna do the other side. Bring your hips to the other edge of your mat and rotate the legs down. Support them as needed, between the knees, under the knees, between the feet. And find a place where you're getting some opening, lengthening through the lower back. Perhaps you'll feel some stretch on the outside of the top hip. That's the piriformis. It gets very tight from sitting or walking. And just allowing yourself again to sink into the ground. Closing your eyes, perhaps rotating your face away from your knees and finding stillness. And effortlessness, and I'll give you a minute of silence. Again, easy, gentle transition. Bring your head to center, your knees up toward the ceiling, feet on the ground, shifting your hips to neutral. And we're going to come into Shavasana now. In stressful times, more relaxation, less effort, less stress during yoga. So this is a very gentle form of yoga. We don't do sun salutes here, we just relax. So you may want something under your thighs or knees. I'm going to demonstrate without that. You may want something lower, like a rolled towel or a rolled blanket. So your feet are apart a bit. Hoping you can see that. And just going to slowly lower yourself down. Ideally, your palms are face up. Your arms are just a bit away from your body. That will help open the shoulders and the chest. If that is not comfortable, just relax your arms and hands wherever they are, wherever they want to be. They can be overhead. They can be on your body if you want to feel even more grounded or get in touch with your breath. If you decide to, you can just bend your knees and let them fall together. Having your knees, your feet a little bit wider apart so that the knees can fall together. This is called constructive rest position. It allows your lower back to relax along with the rest of you. So again, you don't need to see me, so please just allow your eyes to close and allow yourself to come back to that feeling of completely effortless connection to the ground, grounding. Let your breath be natural. Allow yourself to melt and seep into the ground. Every exhale is further letting go. You're in stillness now. If the mind wanders, gently guide it back to breath, body, and ground. I'm going to be quiet here for a few minutes. continue to focus inward and on letting go. If there are any distractions right now in your home or wherever you're practicing, dogs, kids, outside noises, neighbors' noises, just allow them, continuing to focus inward, using your breath as your anchor. So that's your cue to simply deepen your breath, remaining still for a few more breaths, allowing your body to fill with oxygen and what we call prana, the life force energy. Really filling up with breath, focusing more on the inhale. And as you feel more energized, beginning to stretch fingers and toes, you can watch me. I am here in Shavasana with you, emerging with you, and you don't have to watch me. You can listen to your breath. So fingers and toes, and then wrists and ankles. And then you may want to stretch your arms up and overhead, bringing the knees up, the feet on the floor. Lengthening your back, opening your chest, and then hugging both knees, rocking side to side. Again, more deep inhales with natural exhales. Circle your knees, both directions. You can hug behind your knees if that's more comfortable. Bringing the knees away from you, inhaling, and towards you, exhaling. And then when you are ready, you're going to roll over to your left side, if that's possible. Just be here for a few breaths. Now, if you've already come up to sitting, that's okay too. I like to emerge slowly to retain the benefits of relaxation. So after you're on your side for a little bit, you can press your palms down to the ground to help slowly lift you up to sitting. You can And grab your folded blanket and place it under your hips. Cross your legs. Any way that's comfortable is fine. And then once you're there, just close your eyes for a little bit. Place your palms together at your heart. Set your intention for your day, your week. Set an intention that includes self-care. And my prayer for you, may the longtime sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and may the pure light within you guide your way on. And namaste. The light in me recognizes the light in you. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. And if you'd like more videos, I have more videos on my channel, and more videos are coming. These classes are free for anyone who needs a break financially right now. I totally get it. That's why these classes are free. If you can donate, I'm just a single mother out of work too. So there's information about how to donate if you have the means in the description below. Otherwise, I wish you many, many blessings, peace, joy, and ease. Oh, that didn't stop.